So I'm up here again to introduce the first of our two guests of honor. And you've heard from him already. All he was doing then was introducing the documentary. And what an amazing documentary again. Local talent produced something that could stand up just anywhere in the world. But it gives me great pleasure again to ask the GM of Discovery Channel Canada, Paul Lewis, to come up and say some words. Thanks, Paul.
It's really wonderful to be back in Bermuda at the invitation of the Bermuda Environmental Alliance. And I'd really like to thank, first of all, the BEA Board of Directors for bringing me here, and to Sangeeta, who shares such a genuine love for the island and a passion for the environment. Now, it's actually been 2 years since I spoke at this event, and I've got to say I'm feeling really very appreciative, because it's rare for any speaker to be invited back for a second time. Even my own family, frankly, doesn't allow me to speak a second time. So it really means you either liked me and liked what I had to say, or maybe I didn't do so well, so you give me a second chance. But either way, I'm thrilled to be here. Last time I spoke to you about the importance of Boom Diata to the Discovery Channel. I don't know if anybody was here for my Boom Diata speech, but Boom Diata was the name of an infectious song that helped promote the channel back then, and it kind of goes like this: boom diata, boom diata, boom diata, boom diata, boom diata. Anyway, I don't dance and I really don't sing, but it expressed that raw sense of the world as an amazing and awesome place. A celebration of its diversity and beauty and human spontaneity. It's really that spirit that draws our viewers to our programs. But they don't want your dry, boring, preachy documentaries about why it's important to save the planet, because those types of programs don't work so well anymore. No one wants to watch them, and frankly, they're among the lowest rated programs that we show on our network. Our viewers want to see what's worth celebrating. They want to experience it for themselves. They want to be immersed in it. And with that experience comes an emotional connection. And it's that emotional connection that's so important, because now the viewer cares. Now they're engaged. Now they're ready to take action. And that leads to an intellectual questioning. Our audience wants to be entertained, first and foremost, but they want to learn too. And so through the experience, through that emotional connection, comes understanding. Boom Diata has gone from a promotional song, an anthem, to a spirit that runs through all of our shows. Now, scientists say that between a third to a half of all our brain functions are devoted to seeing and processing what we see, how we experience the outside world. And that's an incredible large part of devoted to our most important sense. So it's not surprising that television as a visual medium can play a huge role in the public's understanding and appreciation of the environment and climate change. And it's a big but, we the media have to understand how to present that information in a way that makes sense to people. More and more we have to visualize everything to make an impact. Describing it just no longer cuts it. And thanks to the latest production techniques, the newest computer technologies, we can now describe things in ways that we could have only dreamed about a few years ago. Now, before I show you a very recent Discovery example of what I'm talking about, I just want to go back some years and see the impact that just one image, one picture can have on our appreciation and understanding of our planet and our place in the universe. And this is where I'm going to roll the tape, and this is where it gets really quite scary, but we'll see if it works here. This photo is called the Pale Blue Dot. It was taken in 1990 by the Voyager 1 spacecraft when it was 6 billion kilometers away. But this image is pretty amazing too, because that tiny, almost imperceptible dot in the middle of that circle is the planet Earth, surrounded by an overwhelmingly huge hostile environment of space. If that doesn't show you just how fragile and precarious life on Earth is, I really don't know what else does. And now I'm going to try and get the second image. So this is called Earthrise. It was taken by American astronaut William Anders in 1968 during the Apollo 8 mission. It was declared the most influential environmental photograph ever taken, and it's true. Sure, you could describe this picture to someone, but seeing it with your own eyes has a lasting impact. Seeing planet Earth, the oceans, the continents, the clouds from the vantage point of the moon really allows you to understand the concept of planet Earth as one self-contained spaceship traveling through space, and all of us on the planet sharing one destiny. Okay, let me just show you one more photo here. Do you recognize that picture? Okay, it's a little closer to home. That's Bermuda. I hope it's Bermuda, because that's what the picture said. From the International Space Station, just a couple of 100 miles up in space. The photo was taken by Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield, who sent it to the world on his Twitter feed earlier this year. In its own way, it's a microcosm of the earlier pictures. Instead of Earth surrounded by space, we've got beautiful Bermuda surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, a different perspective that really makes you think just a little differently about your own home and your place on the planet. Now, I'm going to show an excerpt from one of our more recent and definitely more effective environmentally themed documentaries. It delivered huge ratings. It's called Earth from Space. It's a 2-hour show that really takes a look at Earth as one gigantic super system. You get a fresh perspective on how the planet works in a way never before seen. Not surprisingly, the Earth systems are incredibly complicated. A delicate balance of water, heat from the sun and the center of the Earth, the winds, and the Earth's rotation. When your eyes are in space, it suddenly becomes totally obvious that everything's connected. Monsoons in India, forest fires in California, hail in China, drought in South America. We all live in one atmosphere, and what happens on the opposite side of the planet, as you saw in Sangeeta's documentary, can have an incredible impact right here. Nowhere perhaps is this more dramatic than the birth of a hurricane. It all takes place in the Atlantic Ocean off the west coast of Africa, far away from here. And let's see what happens next. Let's visualize it in a way that only television can do.
Although the fishermen can't see it, 180 tons of water rises upward every hour. It takes with it energy equivalent to the output of a small nuclear power station. Kilometer up, this vapor condenses into cloud and releases its heat. It raises the temperature of the surrounding air by several degrees. As the air heats up, it rises further, producing powerful vertical winds. These drive the clouds up to 15 kilometers high. As the storm cell grows, the effect of the Earth's rotation below forces it to spin. The thunderclouds merge into a vast circle. A hurricane is born. Viewed from high above, a hurricane is one of nature's great powerhouses. At any one moment, it's generating as much energy as the world's entire electrical output. Seen from the International Space Station, the hurricane crosses the Atlantic Ocean and enters the Gulf of Mexico.
So, powerful music, cool facts, a strong narrative, exceptional images, really combining to create a memorable and emotional experience, an experience that connects you immediately to the complexity and the interconnectedness of the planet. But there's something missing from here, and that's people, humans. The planet looks amazingly beautiful from afar away, but ask the astronauts on board the International Space Station, just a few hundred miles up, and they'll tell you in great detail about the murky brown muck that floats over large parts of the land and in the sea. Yeah, we've seen the beauty of the planet and its powerful ability to destroy, but we've also seen humans' ability to create beauty and to destroy as well. In a matchup with the planet, humans don't really stand a chance. It's not a fight we can win, nor do we want to win. We don't want to be at war with our own planet. The natural result of what we're doing to the Earth is disastrous. More extreme weather, more climate change. The reality, of course, is this. It's the only home we have. One large piece of rock surrounded by infinite and very hostile space. Moving to, say, Mars isn't really an option, at least not yet. And frankly, while Mars is a beautiful place, I think I'd much rather be here in Bermuda. Wouldn't you? Well, the good news is that the planet isn't just one big interconnected super system by itself. We're part of it. We can impact it positively and negatively. And human beings are part of one big interconnected system too, a system we've built. Telecommunications, the internet, international travel, finance. We can use that system to spread the word, to change minds, reach opinion leaders, shift direction, and we can do good. We've seen examples of that year after year. All we need to do is kick it off with a powerful message, a great narrative, and the most stunning image of all, planet Earth. Boom diata, thank you for your time, and it's been a great evening. Thank you.